Good morning, all of you. In this video, we are discussing the third part of Module 1. Here, we will be discussing about the citizenship in India. Here, in part 2 of Indian Constitution, we are discussing the citizenship. And the part 2 consists of Article 5 to Article 11. Now, let's discuss what is citizenship or who are the citizens in a country. We know citizens are full members of the country. Here, these citizens can enjoy full civil and political rights within that country. And if you are not a citizen in that country, then you are considered as an alien. Now, let us discuss the articles in detail. First of all, Article 5. It deals with the citizenship at the commencement of the Constitution. Now, Article 6. It deals with the rights of citizenship of certain persons who have migrated to India from Pakistan. That means here, if a person has migrated to India from Pakistan, then it will be discussed under Article 6. And in Article 7, it discusses the rights of citizenship of certain migrants to Pakistan. Now, Article 8 deals with it. Article 7 describes the rights of citizenship of certain migrants from India to Pakistan. Now, Article 8 describes the rights of citizenship of certain persons of Indian origin residing outside India. That means certain persons of Indian origin and residing outside India. Okay. Now, Article 9 deals with it. Persons voluntarily acquiring citizenship of a foreign state are not considered as Indian citizens. Here, Article 9 represents the single citizenship in Indian Constitution. Single citizenship means if you have acquired the citizenship of any other country, then you are no longer be considered as a citizen in India. And this concept of single citizenship is borrowed in Indian Constitution from Britain. So Article 9 discusses about the single citizenship in Indian Constitution. Now, Article 10, it describes the continuance of the rights of citizenship. That means it's a continuity of the rights of citizenship that is discussed already. So Article 11 is an important article. It says that the parliament should regulate the right of citizenship by some laws. That means there should be some laws in detail about the citizenship in India. And these laws should be made from the Indian parliament and not from the legislative assemblies of some particular state. That means all the lawmaking process should be from the Indian Parliament only. That means from the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and the President of India. And it should not be from any state legislative assemblies. That is discussed under Article 11. So, based on Article 11, they prepared a law regarding the citizenship, and this law is known as Indian Citizenship Act 1955. So this act came on effect in 1955. It states the provisions for the acquisition and termination of citizenship in India. That means in the procedure by which you can acquire the citizenship of India and you can lose the citizenship of India is completely discussed within this Act, Indian Citizenship Act 1955. So, if you are discussing about this act, then only the chapter of citizenship will become complete. So, this Indian Citizenship Act got amended in 2003 and later in 2019 also. So, according to this act, Indian citizenship can be acquired in 5 different ways. So, that is what we should study in details. So, the modes by which Indian citizenship can be acquired. There are 5 different modes using which you can acquire Indian citizenship, and they are by birth, by descent, by registration, by naturalization, and by incorporation of territory. So let's discuss them one by one. First of all, by birth. So all of we are citizens of India by birth. Now let's discuss how we will acquire or how we have acquired the citizenship of India by birth. Here you consider if you are a person born in India, just like a person born in India. You are born in India and you have your parents. Okay, so once you have born in between 1950 January 26th and 1987 July 1st. That means if you have born in India in between these two dates, then you are considered as a citizen of India even if your parents are not Indian citizens. That means if you have born in between these two dates and if you are born in India, you will be considered as an Indian citizen even if both of your parents are not Indians. So that is the first criteria. And the second criteria says that second criteria says that if you have born in between 1987 July 1st and 2004 December 3rd, if you have born in between these two dates and if either one of your parents is a citizen of India, then you are considered as an Indian citizen. That means if you have born in India in between these two dates and you will be considered as an Indian citizen even if either of your parent is not a citizen. That means you should have either one of your parents who is a citizen of India if you have born in between these two dates in India. So, in order to get a Indian citizenship. Now, the third condition says that if you have born after 2004 December 3rd and you are born in India, then you will be considered as an Indian citizen if both of your parents are Indian citizens. That means you will be considered as an Indian citizen if and only if both of your parents are Indian citizens once you have born after 2004 December 3rd in India. So that is the citizenship acquiring by birth. So citizenship acquiring by birth says that if you have born in between 1915 January 26th and 1987 July 1st, then you will be considered as an Indian even if both of your parents are not Indians. And if you have born in between 1st July 1987 and 3rd December 2004, you will be considered as an Indian citizen if either of your parents is a citizen of India. And at last, it says that if you have born in India after 2004 December 3rd, then you will be considered as an Indian citizen if and only if both of your parents are Indian citizens. And it is described in section 3 of Indian Citizenship Act 1955. Section 3 of Indian Citizenship Act 1955 deals with the acquiring of Indian citizenship by birth. Now, if you go to section 4, then you can see acquiring of citizenship by descent. Now, what is acquiring of citizenship by descent? Here, you need not be born in India. Suppose you have born outside India, then also you can acquire Indian citizenship. Here, if you have born, here we are discussing the citizenship by descent. That means if you have born outside India, you have born outside India, and if you have born in between the dates 26th January 1950, it is the date at which Indian Constitution came on effect. So up to 10th December 1992. That means if you have born outside India in between these two dates, then you will be considered as an Indian citizen even if either of your parent is not a citizen and one of your parent is an Indian citizen by birth, and it should be your father also. That means if you have born outside India in between these two dates, then you will be considered as an Indian citizen if your father is an Indian citizen by birth. And here you may be having a doubt. If your father is an Indian by descent, then what will happen? That means your father is an Indian by descent, and you have born in between these two dates outside India, and your mother is not an Indian citizen. Then how you will acquire Indian citizenship? So, in this purpose, you have to register your birth. You have to register your birth in an Indian consulate. That means there will be Indian consulates in all the foreign countries. So you should go to those Indian consulates within 1 year of your birth, and then they should register your birth. Then only you will become a citizen of India in this condition. So if your father is an Indian by descent, then you should in extra you should produce or you should register your birth in the Indian consulate in that country. Then only you will get the Indian citizenship. So that is the first condition. So in the second condition, if you have born outside India, here if you have born in between 10th December 1992 and 3rd December 2004, then you will become a citizen of India if and only if either of your parents is a citizen of India. That means either your father or your mother should be a citizen of India by birth. That means by birth, he should be a citizen of India for the purpose of getting a citizenship for you in between if you have born in between these 2 days. Now, for this purpose also, you should register your birth. That means they should register your birth in an Indian consulate within that country. Now, that is the second mode. And in third mode, if you have born after 3rd December 2004 abroad, here even if your parents are Indian citizens, even if your parents are both of your parents are Indian citizens, then also you should make or you should they should register your birth in the Indian consulate at the time of your origin or within 1 year of your uh, birth. Then they should register your birth in the Indian consulate. So this is what they have discussed in the section 4 about the citizenship by descent. So in this way, you can acquire Indian citizenship once you are born. That means once you are an infant, then you can acquire Indian citizenship by these two modes, by birth and by descent. So, you suppose if you want to acquire Indian citizenship from an foreign country, once you become an adult, then what you do? That means just like a you are suppose you are at the age of 18 or 30 or 35, whatever. So, and you want to acquire Indian citizenship, then what you should do? So, at that purpose, you should register as an Indian citizen. So far we have discussed about the citizenship acquiring through birth and through descent. So, for this purpose, you should follow these conditions. So, after that, we are discussing citizenship by registration. So, for registering as an Indian citizen, you should you should be a resident of India for at least 7 years. That means you should be a citizen, you should be living in India for 7 years. That means we know that even outsiders can stay in India. Even if they are not a citizen, they can simply come and stay here. And if they are staying for continuously for 7 years, then definitely they can apply for Indian citizenship or they can register for Indian citizenship. So for this purpose, first they should make a declaration that they have lived for 7 years in this country, and after that declaration, then they should go for the registration process. That means first it should be the declaration. After that, it should be the registration. So once they have resided here for 7 years continuously, then they can simply get the citizenship by registration. And also they can do one more thing. If they have married an Indian citizen, that means if a person want to get the Indian citizenship by registration, then they need not stay here for 7 years continuously. They can simply come and marry an Indian person. Then they will simply get the registration as an Indian citizen. So that's also another method. And if you are an overseas citizen of India, what is this overseas citizens of India? It will be discussed in detail somewhat later. So anyway, now you consider if you are an overseas citizen of India, then you are residing in India for 5 years. So you are an overseas citizen of India for 5 years, then you can simply register as an Indian citizen once you complete 1 year in India. That means you have completed staying in India for 1 year and you are an overseas citizen of India for 5 years. Then you can apply for Indian citizenship by registration. That means it can be done in three modes. First mode, you are an outsider and you are staying here for continuously 7 years. Then you can declare it and register it. And if you married an Indian person, then you can acquire Indian citizenship by registering. And in the third way, if you are an overseas citizen of India and you have stayed in India for 1 year and you are an overseas citizen of India for 5 years, then you can apply and you can register as an Indian citizen. These are the three methods. Now it is discussed in section 5 of Indian Constitution. Now let's discuss what is the role of naturalization. Here it is discussed in section 6. Here, if you are having some qualities, then you will be considered as an Indian citizen if you are living here for a long time. That means if you are living here as an migrant for a long time, then you will get the Indian citizenship by naturalization. Here, for this purpose, you should satisfy some criteria or some requirements, just like you should have good character. Then, throughout your lifetime, you have not undergone any legal or criminal procedures. Then, just like during 7 years of your staying here, then you should be in good faith to the country. That means you are just loyal and you have not helped any enemy countries during any war time. Then you don't have any citizenship of any other countries. All these conditions are satisfied. Then you can simply become a citizen of India by naturalization, because you are staying here for a long time and you are in a good faith to the country, then definitely you will become a citizen of India. So this is what discussed in the citizenship by naturalization. Now all these things are described in the Indian Citizenship Act 2005, and it is not discussed in detail in the original Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution simply says that some laws should be made based on the acquirance of citizenship, and a law is made in 1955. So based on that, we are discussing here. So here it is the acquiring of citizenship by naturalization. Now you should go for the citizenship by incorporation of territory. What is the incorporation of territory? That means here, if any other territory, that means if a new territory becomes a part of Indian territory, then the government of India will apply the citizenship rules to the resident of that territory. That means the resident of those territory will be Indian citizens automatically once India acquires those foreign places. So that is the incorporation of territory. So in these five modes, you can acquire citizenship. That means if you are an infant, that means if you are a newborn, then you can acquire Indian citizenship by two modes, just like by birth and by descent. Now all of we are a citizen of India by birth. So by birth and by descent, we have already discussed. And by registration, you can register as an Indian citizen if you satisfy any of the three modes. And by naturalization, if you are staying here for a long time and if you are in a good faith, then you can become a citizen of India by naturalization. And by incorporation of territory, if you have become a citizen in a region which is acquired by India, then you will automatically become the citizen of India. Now these are the five methods by which you can acquire Indian citizenship. Now let's discuss the methods by which, or the modes by which Indian citizenship can be lost. So, Indian Citizenship Act 1955 discusses three methods through which you can lose your Indian citizenship, and they are by renunciation, by termination, and by deprivation. By renunciation, by termination, and by deprivation. Now let us discuss them one by one. So first of all, by renunciation. Here, a person can lose his citizenship by renunciation simply as per his will. That means if he consider he want to finish the citizenship in India, or he want to uh, cancel his citizenship by his own will, then he can simply cancel his citizenship and he can go to any other countries. Here, for this purpose, he should declare he should declare that he want to complete his Indian citizenship and he want to go abroad. Then first he should declare it. After that, he should register it. So once the registration is completed, then he will no longer become the Indian citizen. After that, he can acquire the citizenship of any other country and he can leave. So this is the first method. And if a person lost his citizenship by renunciation, then his children also will lose their citizenship if they are minor. That means if he is having a minor children, then that minor children will also lose his citizenship once the parent has registered as registers to cancel his citizenship by renunciation. So that's the first method. And in the second method, it is the termination of Indian citizenship. Here, it is a forceful ending of the citizenship of a person. Just like the term in termination, if a person has acquired the citizenship of any other country without any registration, that means if he has if he have not done any registration, still he acquired the citizenship of any other country, then automatically his registration as an Indian citizen will get cancelled. That means if you are an Indian citizen and you have acquired the citizenship of any other country, then automatically you will be cancelled as an Indian citizen. Your Indian citizenship will get automatically cancelled because in India we are allowing only a single citizenship. That means you cannot be the citizen of two countries at the same time in India. So it is not a forced loss of citizenship. It is just like it's an automatic loss of citizenship. Here it is the loss of citizenship by his own will. Here it is the loss of citizenship by automatically, and it is the citizenship lost by force. It is not a citizenship lost by force. It is a citizenship lost automatically, and it is the method by which they are forcing you to cancel your Indian citizenship. Now, why they are forcing you to cancel your Indian citizenship? It is for some reasons, just like you have conducted some malpractices or you have conducted some fraud activities, and you have produced some misrepresentation or misrepresented documents have produced once you acquired the Indian citizenship, just like you have acquired Indian citizenship by registration or by naturalization or something, and you have produced some misrepresented documents, then automatically you will get the deprivation, and that means automatically your citizenship will get cancelled. And if you have undergone any arrest or imprisonment within 5 years of your registration, that means once you have registered as an Indian citizen and within 5 years you have undergone an imprisonment for longer than 2 years, and then automatically your Indian citizenship will get cancelled. And in the at last, if you are an Indian citizen and you are residing outside for longer than 7 years continuously, that means you are an Indian citizen by birth. Still, you are residing in a country, in a foreign country, for 7 years continuously. Then automatically your Indian citizenship will be getting cancelled. That is by deprivation. So these are the three modes by which you can lose your Indian citizenship. Just like by renunciation. Here you are simply cancelling your Indian citizenship in your own will. So if you are terminating your Indian citizenship, then here you are simply acquiring the citizenship of another country, and automatically your Indian citizenship gets cancelled. And by deprivation, it means that you are conducting some malpractices or fraud attempts, just like you are helping any foreign country in a war against India. Then all these conducts will lead to the cancellation of your Indian citizenship by deprivation. Now, these are the three methods by which you can lose your Indian citizenship. So, all these things are described in Indian Citizenship Act 1955. So these are the articles. So the Article 11 describes that there should be some legal actions. There should be some lawmaking procedures from the Parliament only, from the Parliament, and not from the state legislators based on the citizenship. So they have made the Indian Citizenship Act, and based on that, they are providing citizenship, and based on the same act, you will lose your citizenship also. So these are the facts that you should study under the citizenship in India.